McFarland, Alyssa Costello, Catherine Kupinski batting cleanup, Juliana Sanzone, Naya Ackerman getting the start today, Emily Reinstein, Brooke Dye, and Corinne Badger make out the lineup. In defense for the Cougars, a few changes from yesterday. The outfield will be the same, though, with Hallie Cannon, Caitlin Stacy, and Mia Ditto from left to right in the outfield. Carly Hughes at third, Brooke Marquez at short, Anise Roman at second, and Sierra Paradis getting the start at first today. And that'll move Shaylin Starks behind the plate. And McKenna Kelly, the senior from Guelph, Ontario, Canada, gets the start today for Charleston. Kelly this year, a 2-6 record, but she's having a career best year in many statistical categories, leading the team with 26 strikeouts. She's got an ERA of 3.33 in 52 innings pitched. She's making her sixth start of the year. She's been kind of a hybrid, a starter and coming out of the bullpen as she did yesterday. And just after 1 p.m., and here's the first pitch. And it's a called strike to Alicia Orozco, the senior from Stockton, California. Is starting to heat up, had 2 hits yesterday, and is hitting .296 now this season, including 3 doubles, 2 triples, and 8 RBI. Orozco hit .346 a season ago. McKenna Kelly came in to start the 6th inning in for Peyton Lemire. Came in with 1 inherited runner, but got out of that inning and pitched 2 pretty clean innings. But then the game went into the 8th inning, and the Seawolves finally got to her. She allowed a couple walks, and then Naya Ackerman delivered the big hit that turned out to be the game winner for Stony Brook. Stony Brook 9-9 now on the season, 1-3 in conference. And this time they'll start the game with a walk as Orozco takes everything and goes to first on 5 pitches. And that'll bring up Kira McFarland, the senior from Greeley, Colorado. It's a Stony Brook team full of seniors. They return almost everyone from last year. McFarland wasn't a full-time starter last year. She was very good when she played, and now this year has started every game for Stony Brook and is hitting .281. Plenty of those bunts and infield hits, so the Cougars are ready with Hughes playing in. Also Orozco on first base, 3 for 3 in steals this year, and she had 9 a year ago. As McFarland can't get it down, but that pitch stays in the zone, so it's 1-2. And a little check swing, and that gets into the outfield. And the Seawolves have first and second with nobody out. So just a little half swing for Kira McFarland. And it pops right into the perfect spot in the outfield. And now the Seawolves have runners on for Alyssa Costello. And Costello swings at the first pitch. Marquez tracks it, and everybody's got to stay. A huge first out for Kelly and the Cougars. And now Catherine Ann Kupinski. This year she's got 3 home runs, leading the team. And she swings at the first pitch. Marquez grounds it to third. That's the only play. So the Cougars get the lead runner and again keep it first and second now with 2 outs. You see another angle here of the play by Marquez. Good play, not an easy bouncer. And she elects to get the lead runner out at third. So Sanzone now. And she takes a pitch after the last two hitters swung on the first two. Sanzone, who's been in the DP spot this series, is a senior from East Meadow, New York. On the season, so far, she's got 6 hits in 38 at-bats, but one of them a double, and she has driven in 7 runs. And she steps off quickly to talk with her third base coach and head coach, Megan Bryant. Megan Bryant in the midst of her 24th season coaching Stony Brook softball. And a 1-1 taken, and gets the call. Kelly with the nice pitch. And again takes, but Kelly can't get the call that time, so 2-2. Juliana Sanzone. And she gets it into left field. Back on the run is Cannon. That ball is off the wall. Fielded by Stacy. 1 run will score. And the throw to Marquez will keep the runners at second and third, but Stony Brook takes the lead. And a big clutch 2-out double from Juliana Sanzone. Had a lot into it. Fielders, no chance, just had to play it off the wall, and credit Stacy with making the good play off the wall to prevent that double from scoring 2 runs. But Stony Brook strikes first. And now Naya Ackerman, who had the big hit to the left center field wall last evening, to give Stony Brook the 3-1 lead in extra innings and give them the win. She was a pinch hitter in that game, so not much of a surprise after the big hit. She's in the lineup. Ackerman's a sophomore from Parker, Colorado. And on the season, hitting .211. Does have 1 homer. 1 double as well. The one yesterday wasn't a double because the one of the runners actually held up, so it was just a loud single, but nobody on Stony Brook was complaining with the win. Big pitch here. Cougars got to escape with minimal damage. But instead, the bases will now be loaded as Ackerman aboard. And Coach Tracy Lynch will call time to talk to her pitcher and her team. Now, Jake Combs, the assistant, also sits up to the third base umpire, who is Monique McMurray this game. Not sure what that's about, but just a quick meeting. Riley Cutter, the freshman, is in the bullpen. But Kelly, she's gotten out of trouble before, and Cougars willing her to do it again. Bases loaded, 2 out for Emily Reinstein. Reinstein hitting .213 this year, 1 homer, 3 RBI. She had a hit the last time she faced Kelly yesterday, and that led to the Ackerman 2 RBI game winner. The catcher is a junior from East Windsor, New Jersey. He's got a chance to put up a big number for Stony Brook early in this game. That's down the line, and Hughes can't get it. 1 run will score. Coming in, 2 runs will score. It's a 3-0 lead for Stony Brook. And another big 2-out hit drives in a run. Emily Reinstein.
Third baseman number 4, Brook.
So Stony Brook now with a 3-0 lead. A couple hits with 2 outs. Just gets by Carly Hughes. Cannon with the good throw home, but that's not in time with the base running of Sanzone. Stony Brook has now had 5 base runners this inning. 3 hits, 3 runs. And maybe not done yet as Brook Dye steps up. Brook Dye this season just 4 hits so far in 34 at-bats. Now we saw her value to the team yesterday really on defense as she plays a great third base. But now she gets into one. Almost hits the umpire, McMurray, at third. But a well-hit ball by Dye. Now 1-2. Kelly looking to get out of this inning. Earlier in the year, this was a common theme for the Cougars, giving up 2 or 3 runs in the first inning and falling behind early in games. And that one hits the batter. And once again, the bases will be loaded. And we are going to have a pitching change. That'll be it for McKenna Kelly. She'll leave with 2 outs in the first inning. And Riley Cutter will take over when we come back. So 2 outs, Stony Brook. They've already put up 3 runs, and it'll be up to the freshman from Duluth, Georgia, Riley Cutter, to prevent this lead from getting any more and keep the Cougars within striking distance. Stony Brook has gotten to their last spot in the lineup. Corinne Badger will be up. And with Badger, a number 9 hitter. Usually when you see a number 9 hitter, you might expect, you know, a player that can get on base and for the leadoff of the order. Maybe a slap hitting fast player. Well, Corinne Badger, you have a player that hit 14 home runs and drove in 33 a year ago. That for the number 9 hitter. So big test right away for Cutter, who had her 0-2 and throws one high. Riley Cutter this year has made 6 appearances so far, 3 starts, and has an 0-2 record, a 7 ERA, just 16 innings pitched so far. tipped just barely for Badger to stay alive. Cutter actually a two-way player. She hits and pitches. She's only had 2 or 3 plate appearances this year. And now Cutter has hit a batter, second hit batter in a row for Stony Brook, and that'll bring in another run. It's 4-0. And the Seawolves have batted all the way around, and Alicia Orozco back up to the plate. And the second straight time a Cougar pitcher gets 2 strikes and then ends up hitting the batter. And now Orozco. She walked to start off this whole inning. That run charged to Kelly. Runners on second and third she's still responsible for. That's the count 1-1. Cutter made 1 appearance in the opening weekend series, but then when she was batting, actually was hit by a pitch in the arm, and that kept her out for almost a month. But she's been back now. She's been pitching and got in her most action against Georgia Southern when she pitched that full game. Cougars lost 3-2, but she pitched solid, giving up just 3 runs in 6 innings. And that one is hit off the end. This is going to be a tough run to first, not in time. Another run will score for Stony Brook. And the speed of Alicia Orozco brings another hit and another run home for Stony Brook. Well, the fielders were playing in a little, and where that ball was hit, kind of just in that no man's land between the circle and first base. And Sierra Paradis could not win the foot race with Orozco. So 5-0, bases still loaded. Every run has been scored with 2 out. McFarland takes 2-0 count. And 2-0, that pitch does find the zone for strike 1. Well, the Cougars had at points early in the year given up runs in the first, but this is the most they've given up in the first inning. And now this one's out into center, but Stacy has got it to put an end to the inning, but Stony Brook strikes with 5 runs. Cougars in a big hole early. You're watching on the Charleston Sports Network.
Our team is ready to welcome your team to Cambria Hotel Mount Pleasant. This property is only minutes from your local sports fields and historic Charleston. We provide oversized guest rooms with hardwood floors and upscale amenities. Enjoy a 24/7 marketplace, fitness center, laundry, and outdoor pool. Host team meetings in our boardroom or gather at our restaurant 17 North. Call 843-849-9677 to book today. Little luxuries, big difference. Cambria Hotel Mount Pleasant.
At the College of Charleston, when classes end and the books close, when the streetlights turn on and everyone else is heading home, we are just catching our second wind. Because when the world rests, we roll up our sleeves. We are seekers, doers, and change agents, creators and explorers. This is our city. This is our school. This place is for you.
So for the Cougars, Carly Hughes will be the leadoff hitter today. Brooke Marquez at second. Shaylin Starks, Hallie Cannon in cleanup. Anise Roman hitting 5th. Malika Belser is the DP today. Mia Ditto, Sierra Paradis, Caitlin Stacy. So Coach Lynch And the Cougars shake it up a little bit in the order. And for Stony Brook, it'll be Kopinski, Orozco, Costello in the outfield. Dye at third, McFarland at short. Ackerman starts second. Badger at first. Reinstein catching. And it'll be Gabrielle Mayday doing the pitching. Mayday, who is a senior and a transfer from Cornell University. So moved from New York State down into the city, Long Island area. And Gabrielle Mayday this year, 4-3 record in 10 appearances, 7 starts, a 4.27 ERA. She struck out 13, walked 8. And Carly Hughes in the leadoff spot. And Hughes takes it to get to 2-1 in the count. And she'll get this into shallow left. And reaching out, that play is going to be made by McFarland, cutting off the outfielder to make it, but all works out for Stony Brook. They get the out. Yeah, at first just looked like a pop-up, and then maybe it seemed the fielders were going to have a little trouble with it. So now Brooke Marquez. And she swings at the first pitch. And is retired. 2 away for the Cougars. And that'll now bring up Shaylin Starks. As the Cougars would like to get something started soon. Already in a 5-run deficit. Tied for the most runs they've given up in an inning this year. So this would be a good day to have a big offensive day. Shaylin Starks on the season. He's hitting .292. Had a really hot start to the year. Overall, she's driven in 6 runs and hit 3 doubles so far. Still looking for her first long ball. 1-1, and this is grounded to short. Scooped up, McFarland over to first. And a 1-2-3 inning. Stony Brook out right away. And after 1 inning, it's Stony Brook 5, Charleston 0. So Stony Brook 9-9 on the season after their win yesterday. Got their first conference win. And were picked to finish 7th in the preseason poll, so right next to Charleston. Expected some close games. Got one yesterday. Alyssa Costello leads with a .296 average. Kopinski with the 3 homers and 13 RBI. Gabrielle Mayday, the ERA and innings pitched leader. And Mia Haynes, we saw yesterday, leads in strikeouts. As this is 2nd of 3 games, play 1 more tomorrow. And then both teams will continue their conference play. So Alyssa Costello batting. Today 0 for 1. And she popped out to short, but came in hitting .296, as you saw, leading the team. A year ago, she was a first-team All CAA. In Stony Brook's first season in the CAA, she hit .401, had 8 homers, an OPS over 1,000. Just a terrific season at the plate. And now she gets one out to left center. Going back is Cannon, who makes a nice catch and runs into the wall. Nice play by Hallie Cannon out in left field. Not an easy ball to track. The wind pushing it out a little bit as well. Right in front of the track, and luckily is okay. Is able to brace herself against the wall. So Kopinski, who's 0 for 1, grounded out into that fielder's choice. Looked like the Cougars could get out of that first inning, but Stony Brook kept hitting, walking, hit by pitches, all with 2 out, and that's how they got 5. As Kopinski takes 1-1. This season so far, she's hitting .280. And it's got the 3 homers, 13 RBI. And she'll get this one into high, deep left. Cannon again, and she'll stumble at the track, won't get it. And we'll pick it up with the bare hand. Now into third, close play, but she's safe. So Kopinski taking the gamble to go the extra base, and the Cougars nearly able to get her. As we'll see one more time, Cannon could not get to that one like she did the previous batter. And Kopinski will end up with a triple. And now we have a pinch hitter, Daniela Sofia. Or never mind, it's still Sansone. I got my 15 and 25 confused. Sansone the DP, and she'll get this one out to center. We'll see if it's deep enough to send the runner, and it's not. So big out for Cutter. A shallow pop fly, and that'll hold Kopinski on third base. And Naya Ackerman will be the batter. Ackerman walked her first time up. These two teams have only played each other twice now, once last year in the tournament and once yesterday. And Ackerman already a big Cougar nemesis in both games. She was at the plate when she hit the ball that scored the winning runs. Yesterday it was a big 2 RBI single. But we mentioned a lot of players back from that game last year, but Riley Cutter, not one of them because she's a freshman, still one of the new faces to this matchup. So far today, she's given up the inherited runs, but none charged to her. So all 5 runs charged to starter McKenna Kelly. So far, Cutter's given up 2 hits, no walks or strikeouts. 3-1 to Ackerman. And tips that one to get to 3-2 now. Stony Brook, in their first 4 conference games this year, scored just 8 runs combined. But last year, this was a team that hit 45 homers as a team. And hit 286 as a team. Big offense, some good offensive players, and they showed that in the first inning. Now 2 outs, runner on third. And that one is fair. Nice play by Hughes. Throw to first is high and off. And the run will score. And to second goes Ackerman. No throw there, and she's safe. And it's a 6-0 Stony Brook lead. Carly Hughes makes a nice play to get to the ball. But the throw goes wide, so she's charged with an error. Now Emily Reinstein will bat another 2-out run for Stony Brook as they are able to tack on to their lead. Reinstein drove in 2 runs with a single to left field. And that was that, and then the next batter getting hit. That's what chased Kelly from the game, as this one is hit pretty well, but will go well foul. Reinstein had driven in just 3 runs this season, but adds 2 to it today. And could add another with a runner in scoring position. As this one is hit well, Cannon with the dive, can't get to it, and another run will score as that ball makes its way to the corner. Reinstein ends up at second. And it is a 7-0 Stony Brook lead, as everything this game has just come up their way. And now we'll get a meeting. Looked like the time was initially called by Stony Brook for Coach Bryant to talk to Dye, but then now a meeting in the circle as well. 2 runs not charged as earned runs against Cutter because of the error. But once again, Stony Brook with the 2-out damage, and what a day for Emily Reinstein. 2 hits, 3 RBI. Now Brooke Dye, who got hit by a pitch her first time up, takes a cut, will foul it away. 0-2. It hasn't been uncommon this game. We've seen a lot of Stony Brook hitters with these 2-strike counts, but they've been tough to put away. No strikeouts. So 0-2 count to Dye. And again, we'll hit it foul. Well, Cougars in the bottom of the first inning felt like they were barely up. Mayday only had to throw 8 pitches. So it feels like the time of possession, to call it that, is just so weighted for Stony Brook as that one gets to deep left, but Cannon makes a nice catch at the track again. And that will end the inning, but the Seawolves tack on 2 more. And you see the catch again by Cannon to get out of it. 7-0 in the middle of the second.
When it comes to living in the low country, this is what it's all about. It's why we live here, work here, and why so many people are moving here. Hey Tire Pros is proud to serve generations of low country families.
At Hey Tire Pros, we see new people every day. If you're new to the low country and need any kind of car maintenance, Do what thousands have done for years and count on Hey Tire Pros.
So whether you're a come ya or a been ya, we just want you to get here.
Well-being is a daily balance of give and take. So let's take note of our circumstances and take heart in the breakthroughs that drive better outcomes. Let's take part in the world around us as safely as we can. And let us take care in whatever give and take tomorrow brings. Learn more at takecaresc.org.
Charleston this year, 7-15, 1-3 in the CAA, though they've had leads in every game. Disborough being the first one that's kind of gotten away from them. They're picked to finish 8th, right near Stony Brook. Caitlin Stacy leads them with a 300 average. 4 players now with each a homer. Belser getting her first homer, 13 RBI for her as well. Hallie Cannon, who's up now, also 13 RBI. Peyton Lemire and McKenna Kelly lead the pitching staff, the 2 seniors. So the Cougars went away quickly in the first inning, hoping for a longer and more rally-filled second, as you got Hallie Cannon. And she'll put this one out to center field, coming in and making the catch is Orozco, and one away.
Second baseman, number 9, Roman.
So now Anise Roman Roman, the senior from Montebello, California, has hit leadoff in every game until now. Cougars trying to shake up the lineup a little bit, so they put Hughes in leadoff, and they put Roman in 5th, basically swapped them. Also swapped, they've swapped a couple of times, Starks and Cannon in that 3-4 spots. Belser there too, she's gone throughout the 3 through 6 spots. She's on deck now. Now Anise Roman had a tough day yesterday, 0 for 4, but got close a couple times. With a runner on base, she lined into a double play that really accelerated Stony Brook closing that game out. A play that could have maybe been called a catcher's interference, but Cougar pleas went unheard. A 2-2 count now for Roman. She's coming off of a good last weekend when she went 4 for 10, 4 hits against Delaware. And now she's got the first hit of the game for Charleston. Roman with a nice piece of hitting with 2 strikes. And can that get the Cougars going for today?
Number 11,
And gets that right by Dye and McFarland. And now Malika Belser will bat, and she'll swing at the first pitch into left center field, but this ball hangs and is caught by Kupinski.
right fielder, number 14.
Off the bat, looked like maybe could be headed for a gap, but hung just a little bit too long. Belser, who hit her first homer of the season yesterday, trying to get something back there with 1 swing. And Mia Ditto, she hit a double yesterday. And on the season, hitting .211 with 4 doubles, 1 run driven in, 3 stolen bases as well for Ditto. The senior right fielder from Indianapolis. And she'll fly this into right, moving under it and making the catch is Costello. So the Cougars get 1 hit, but they don't score in the bottom of the second, and the score remains 7-0 after 2. we're back now, top of the third. Stony Brook with a 7-0 lead. They got 5 in the first, 2 in the second. And the Cougars do make a defensive change this inning. Malika Belser moves to third base. Carly Hughes moves to DP. Belser started the season at third base. Very versatile infield, really whole team. Many players have played multiple positions and learned new positions. So Belser, normally a catcher, is getting the DP nod today, and now goes back to third. Corinne Badger leads things off for Stony Brook. Drove in a run with a hit by pitch back in the first inning. And takes a strike here after taking a ball, 1-1. And Badger out to center. Marquez can't get to it. And it's another base hit. 7th hit of the game for Stony Brook. And they've again got their leadoff batter on. And is now ready to go third time around the order, Alicia Orozco. And she has had a good series. 2 hits yesterday, 2 times on base today with a walk, a run, and then an RBI single. And there's Orozco now, who came into this game hitting just 208. It's actually under 200 coming in yesterday. And I kind of warned that sometimes players like that, you know, they're just due, and unfortunately for Charleston, they may just be in the wrong place at the wrong time as Orozco starts to get hot. One and one count with a runner on. Belser playing a couple steps in from third. There's the bunt attempt. And it goes to the backstop, 1-2. Riley Cutter still looking for her first strikeout of the game. She's got 3 this season. Stony Brook hitter, it's not going down so easily. And this one into left field will drift foul. And Cannon has already had to work hard in left today, running after a lot of balls. Another player that's learned to, or to change of position. She was a catcher at the start of last year, moved to left field, and is an outfielder this year. 1-2 to Orozco, ball 2. Badger on first base. No stolen base attempts this year. Not a team that steals a ton of bases, Stony Brook. As Orozco out to center, this will be a long run in, but Stacy's able to make the catch for the first out. And so the Cougars retire Orozco for the first time. And that'll bring up Kira McFarland. McFarland 1 for 2. Singled into left field and then lined out to center. Both at bats in the first inning. Now she'll bat with 1 on, 1 out. Again, Cougars prepared in for the bunt attempt. Remember, McFarland's hit was kind of a check swing, but got into left field. And this time she gets the bunt down. Belser throw to first, not in time. Belser plays the bunt, but McFarland too fast, beats the throw by a step.
Right fielder, number 8, Alyssa.
And Belser makes it a close play, and she throws that one. You know, she's got to throw it fast, but not too fast. She got to allow Roman the time to get over. And she was a long way from the bag. So with the bunt single, now first and second again. As Costello comes up. Well, as Stony Brook's offense has broken out today, Costello has not yet. The Cougars, she's been the one player they've been able to hold in check, as she's 0 for 2 with a pop out and a fly out. She did hit the ball well last time. Cannon made a nice catch at the track. Well, Alyssa Costello, all conference a year ago, all tournament team, and she did some damage to Charleston, helping knock them out of the CAA tournament a year ago. Yesterday, she drove in Stony Brook's first run with a triple to deep center and had 2 hits on the game. And a 2-1, that's to second. Chance for 2 as Roman flips it, but only the 1 tag made. As McFarland with the slide in there, she's out, but no throw to first, and the inning keeps going.
Left fielder, number 16, Catherine Kupinski.
So again, one thing the Cougars doing today, they're not letting Costello beat them. She's 0 for 3. But Catherine and Kupinski, she had the triple to left field her last time up, scored a run. Actually, she scored 2 runs today, and she got on base with the fielder's choice back in the first. All 7 of Stony Brook's runs have come with 2 out. As this ball is popped high, short, Paradis has got it, and this time the Cougars get out of the inning. No damage with 2 outs. Score remains 7-0. And they'll be back for another crack on offense when we come back.
At the College of Charleston, when classes end and the books close, when the streetlights turn on and everyone else is heading home, we are just catching our second wind. Because when the world rests, we roll up our sleeves. We are seekers, doers, and change agents, creators and explorers. This is our city. This is our school. This place is for you.
This is your vacation, your beach, your fields of green, skies of blue, mountains of majesty. You're an athlete, you're obsessed, you're in love, you're in pain, spirit drained, in agony, fighting gravity, because you made a commitment to yourself and others to work on your game, build your frame in blazing heat, exhausted and beat, because when you refuse to yield, your spirit is revealed. You are an athlete. MUSC Health Sports Medicine.
So the softball preseason poll, take a look. Looks to be a very competitive conference. Look at the matchup today. Stony Brook, Charleston right in the middle, separated by 1 voting point, 7 and 8. And actually the first series of the season, Charleston took on Delaware, the #1 preseason team, and Stony Brook took on Campbell, the #2 preseason team. So both these teams tested hard right out of the gate. It's all about battling, positioning, trying to get in one of those spots to qualify for the CAA tournament. This is where you have to give Tracy Lynch a ton of credit. She took over a team that won no conference games, 6 games total. As Paradis grounds out to second base. Sierra Paradis, who's starting today at first base, hits it hard but directly to the second baseman Ackerman. Yeah, the Cougars 0-18 in conference in 2021. It's a weird year with some of the opt-outs, stuff like that. But then Coach Lynch came. Cougars went 7-10, 11-12 in conference those 2 years, and made the conference tournament in both years. So they're looking for their 3rd appearance in a row. Got a long way to go in this one, down 7-0. That's a nice hit by Caitlin Stacy. And Stacy continues to do very nice things on offense for the Cougars. She's got a hit for the 2nd game in a row. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter. So remember, Carly Hughes led off the game. She was replaced in the field. And now at the plate, Savannah Lockhart will hit for her. So Savannah Lockhart, when she's been up, she has hit the ball pretty well this year. The freshman from Madison, North Carolina, hitting .273. She has a homer, sends this one to right center, going back at the wall. That one's off the wall. Stacy was held up, but she's going to make it to 3rd base and is held up there. A double for Savannah Lockhart. And the Cougars have runners on 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Back-to-back hits from the 2 freshmen. Well, Savannah Lockhart this year is hitting .273, had 3 doubles and a homer. Got that extra base hit power, opposite field power too. I think the last time I was calling, I said that she had the best right-handed opposite field power that I've seen since I've been here with this team. And she shows it again there. So for the first time, Stony Brook not quite cruising that easily through the inning, and a little quick meeting. Gabby Mayday with a big lead for her and her team. But the heart of the Cougar order coming up with Brooke Marquez. Marquez hitting .294 on the season. .357 in conference games. And she hit against Delaware and then had 2 hits yesterday. 0-1 takes is low. Well, Stony Brook playing the field, protected against the run. As Marquez hits it well and will go foul. She has hit a home run this year. Does have some of that sneaky power to left. Also, it's got 3 doubles on the year, and at least a couple more that could have been doubles but weren't, because this one is into right center field and Marquez drives in a run. So Brooke Marquez comes through, drives in her 9th run of the year. 3 hits in a row for the Cougars, who get on the board. And now another meeting, and this one will bring the Stony Brook assistant coach, Sabrina Kushta. Meanwhile, the Cougars will all huddle up as well. And Coach Tracy Lynch, Jake Combs, and assistant there Maggie Maroka. Cougars assisted by Combs, Maroka, Lena Holmgren. So 1 out, runners at the corners for Starks. And she grounded out to short her first time up. The runner thinks about going. Brooke Marquez, 6 for 7 this year in stolen bases. And 1-0 pitch low. Stony Brook pitching has been accurate this series. They haven't walked anybody. Mia Haynes didn't last night, and so far no walks today for Mayday. Does get behind on the count 2-0, fires one in. Cougars got a long way to go, but all they can do now is keep stringing together base runners. And Starks has worked discount ahead to 3-1. Shaylin hitting .288 this year on base of .325. Driven in 6. And she will go to first with a walk to load up the bases for Hallie Cannon. So 4 straight reach base for Charleston. Hallie Cannon hitting .266 on the season. 2 doubles, a triple, a homer. Interesting fact about Hallie Cannon, in her career so far, all of her extra base hits have come at home. She likes hitting here at Patriots Point and could get the Cougars right back into the game with a big hit. One and one count, she'll foul it off, will get out of play. With Lockhart at third base, Marquez at second, and now Starks at first. 1-2, Cannon takes it. Charleston looking for a comeback that could maybe be the game to spark their whole season. As now it's a 3-2 count. If Cannon could get a board or get a big hit, this crowd would really start to get going. And she will reach and drive in a run. 2 straight walks, Hallie Cannon. A good at-bat. Not chasing, good eye, and drives in a run with a walk. It's a 7-2 ball game. And the Cougars going station to station, keep them loaded for Anise Roman. Roman had the first hit of the game for the Cougars back in the 2nd inning. Cougars at the time down 7-0, just needed something. Now Roman up again, they're down 7-2 with the bases loaded. And the count 1-1. The Stony Brook pitchers have been in control so long, but Mayday has now walked the last 2 batters. And Roman will hit it and will be caught at shortstop and nobody able to go. And that's a big out to get, as the bases were still loaded with 1 out. Cougars unable to move or score anybody on the out. But that will now bring up Malika Belser with a chance to add on to her team-high 13 RBIs. And I guess Cannon now got her 14th of the year with that walk. How about Hallie Cannon? 14 RBIs on the year. But Belser flew out to left her first time up. And gets this one. That ball's into right field for a hit. It's 7-3. It's 7-4. Malika Belser. She gets RBIs number 14 and 15 on the season. Well, when Belser really started to heat up last year was conference play. Some home conference games she did great in. And she may be doing it again. Homer yesterday, big 2 RBI hit today. This is a 7-4 ball game. And Mia Ditto at the plate. She is the tying run in the game that was 7-0 just moments ago, seemingly. And And for the time being, it is still Gabrielle Mayday, the left-hander on the in the circle. Cruised through the first 2 innings. Mia Ditto's 0 for 1, flied out to right field. Mayday hasn't struck anybody out, but in the first 2 innings gave up easy grounders and flyouts. Not so here, but Ditto can't quite get the hit to get him closer. A big play by Orozco to end the inning, but the Cougars get 4 runs, and this game now is a game. 7-4 after 3 here on the Charleston Sports Network. Now, just right next to us, the College of Charleston baseball team has began their game against Wofford. Cougars looking to continue to play well. They won 4-0 last night, shutting down one of the top offenses in the country. So they'll look to do that again. Meanwhile, softball maybe has something special brewing, as they were down 7-0, but now have gotten it to 7-4 in the bottom of the 3rd. And it looks like baseball, as we turn away, do just give up a hit, so hopefully they'll get out of that. Juliana Sanzone hit a double her first time up, drove in the game's first run, and flied out her second time up. The Cougars were down 7-0. Now this one to left field, that'll get foul. It ultimately ends up short of the wall anyway. But the Cougars down 7-0. They rallied 4 runs as they kept it going in the bottom of the 3rd, and then Mia Ditto hit a line shot to center, and Alicia Orozco makes a fantastic diving catch. And if she doesn't get that, then this score is 7-6. And Ditto maybe on 3rd base. So Cougars that close to getting right there, but even still, they've made this a game. Big top of the inning for Cutter and Charleston to keep this momentum. As Sanzone gets it into deep left field, near the wall, and that's caught by Cannon in foul ground. Looked trouble off the bat, but drifted foul and then stayed in play. So Hallie Cannon, she has been active out there in left. But she makes another play. And now it's Ackerman. Ackerman scored 2 runs in this game, walked and reached on an error. So far, Riley Cutter in this game has given up 5 hits, but no earned runs. She gave up 2 inherited and then 2 unearned in the second, but no earned runs. And she hasn't walked anybody. Did hit one with a pitch, her first batter of the game, after she took over for starter McKenna Kelly. Ackerman hits this one high, but it'll stay in left field, and Cannon will make the grab for out number 2. The Cougars looking for an easy inning, which they have not been able to get. This Stony Brook team constantly getting on base, battling. Yesterday, Peyton Lemire and McKenna Kelly both pitched pretty well, but neither was able to get a 1-2-3 inning at any point. And now Cutter will have to face Emily Reinstein, who has gone off today for the Seawolves. She's doubled her RBI total with a 2 RBI single in the first inning, an RBI double in the second inning. A player that came into the game hitting just .213 with 3 runs driven in and just 1 extra base hit. But today, from the 7-hole, the junior from East Windsor, New Jersey, has been the best bat for Stony Brook. She'll chase after this one, 1-2. We haven't seen that many swings and misses today. Reinstein's now gotten a hit in her last 3 at-bats dating back to the 8th inning of last night. And a 1-2 rip to left. That will go foul. But that one had some power in it as well. Charleston, so important to get a quick 0 after they kind of got the momentum back. And this one's hit into right field. Long run. Roman can't get it. It's a foul ball. That one kind of just kept tailing off to the right to the point where ultimately there was no play, but the ball went foul, so no harm. The wind has kind of just been going all over the place today, where I haven't even really mentioned it because it seems like every batter, it's going in a different direction. Every inning, at least. It's kind of going in right now. 1-2 again. And Reinstein, that's picked up at third by Belser. What a play. And they're finally able to get Reinstein out. A 1-2-3 inning. And the Cougars are feeling good right now, down by just 3 after getting out of this inning. What a play. You're watching on the Charleston Sports Network.
I inherited this heart-shaped birthmark.
I inherited these pretty big feet.
I got high cheekbones.
I'd like to thank my dad for these enormous ears.
I got this secret tooth.
We all inherit something, like the risk for breast cancer,
a tendency for high blood pressure,
or the potential for colon cancer. DNA can affect your health too, so take action. Join MUSC's Community Health Research Project. Visit nrdnasc.org.
Our team is ready to welcome your team to Cambria Hotel Mount Pleasant. This property is only minutes from your local sports fields and historic Charleston. We provide oversized guest rooms with hardwood floors and upscale amenities. Enjoy a 24/7 marketplace, fitness center, laundry, and outdoor pool. Host team meetings in our boardroom or gather at our restaurant 17 North. Call 843-849-9677 to book today. Little luxuries, big difference. Cambria Hotel Mount Pleasant.
Well, Stony Brook will make a pitching change. After the Cougars get to Gabby Mayday, they'll go with Ashton Milas, the grad student from Rockton, Illinois.
Leading off for the Cougars in the bottom of the 4th.
The right-handed pitcher this year has started 4 games, but mostly has been the team's go-to reliever, where she's gotten 2 saves, has a 4.30 ERA. She struck out 12, walked 8, batters hitting .326 against her. And Sierra Paradis, who was retired on 1 pitcher last time up, Paradis getting the start. The second-year first baseman from Canton, Georgia. And it takes a strike, or no, takes a ball rather. Ball and another ball. So 2-0 count. Paradis this year, making her 16th start. She's been the first baseman for a lot of this year, played some DP last year as a freshman. And she'll get on base here, a 4-pitch walk. And not the way that Stony Brook wanted the outing to start for Milas. And that'll bring up Caitlin Stacy. She's a freshman. She's been hitting well, and she started the rally last inning with the base hit to center field. The young freshman has come up big at times for the Cougars this year. 2 weeks ago today, the Cougars played 2 games. And Caitlin Stacy had 6 RBI and 4 hits across those 2 games. And it's a freshman from Woodstock, Georgia. And it's been a great addition both in the field and at the plate for the Cougars. Just a few games into the season, Stacy was put in. Got a hit as a pinch hitter, and then has started every game since then. And she's making her 20th start on the season now. Lockhart still on deck, so she'll stay in that DP spot. 2-0 to Stacy. And she'll swing. Going aggressively on the first strike thrown by Milas. On the season, pretty good control. Just 8 walks in 29 innings to 12 strikeouts, but today has not found the plate so far early in her first 2 batters faced. So 3-1 count. And that ball is nowhere close to the strike zone, and the Cougars back-to-back walks, 2 runners on for the top of the order. And now Savannah Lockhart. Well, if you're Savannah Lockhart and the Cougars, you got to think to be patient, wait for your pitch with a pitcher still trying to find the zone. On the other hand, Lockhart hit one out to the wall her last time up, and she'll swing at the first pitch. And that will go into shallow right. Paradis unable to advance. And no doubt there, Lockhart was thinking about tying the game with 1 swing. It's a big first out to get for Stony Brook this inning. Now Brooke Marquez, she singled, drove in a run her last time up. A big part of that rally, and came around to score. She's now hitting .304 on the season. And so far, been a big addition to this team from Valencia, California, via Notre Dame, where she transferred from. This one is popped up high, and it will get out of play. That little protruding roof of the Cougar dugout may be saving Marquez, as Brook Dye was ready to make a play on it. But Marquez will go back 1-1. And she'll get this one out to center field, taking a couple steps back. This catch is made by Orozco. And it now would appear that Ashton Milas has settled in. But the Cougars did get a big 2-out hit last inning. Trying to do so again with Shaylin Starks, who walked her first time up. takes the pitch, 1-0. And Starks well hit, but that's a diving stop by Brook Dye. And Paradis is going to try to run back. She was forced to advance anyway. So that'll do it. Well hit ball, but Dye makes the play to get out of the inning, and it remains 7-4 after the fourth. So Stony Brook for now hanging on to the lead for the Cougars, who have done well settling in after giving up 7 runs early to Stony Brook. Riley Cutter getting the job of long reliever today. And the longer she's pitched, the better she's gotten today, as she will face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for Stony Brook. Starting off with Brook Dye. Dye hasn't gotten a hit in this series yet, but she has made some big plays at third base, including scooping up that could have been RBI single by Starks. Brook Dye is a grad student from Auburn, Washington. And count 1-1. Dye did get on base her first time up, got hit by a pitch in the first inning. And she'll pop this one up foul. So Charleston trying to stay in the game and get their biggest comeback win of the season. They've had a couple of comeback wins this year, but none quite to the level of this. And that's strike 3, first strikeout of the game for Cougar pitching, as Dye goes down looking. Riley Cutter gets her first strikeout. And now Corinne Badger. So the Cougars trailed against Cleveland State 2-0 in their second matchup back in opening weekend. Cougars trailed 2-0, got 6 runs in the third and won 11-3. And the other comeback win was against Buffalo, down to their final out. Actually, we're down 4-0 early, got 3 of them back right away, and then down to their final out, got the last one back. Fell behind again in extras, but came back and got the win. And that game did get Charleston going for that day as they beat Evansville. However, since then, 4 or 5 losses in their last 6 games. But still battling today, 1-2 to Badger. Badger is looking for her first hit in this series. Actually, check that. She did get a single back in the third inning. but was left stranded on base. Badgers hit 2 home runs so far this year after the 14 homer season a year ago. Stony Brook 8 hits overall today, 3 for extra bases. Riley Cutter kind of got into a little bit of a rhythm. As this ball is hit high, will stay though, and actually Cannon will have to come in, make the catch. That's now 7 batters in a row retired by Cutter.
Center fielder, number 1, Alicia Orozco.
And Alicia Orozco, who walked, singled home a run in the first, and then flew out in the third. So she also made a big diving stop to end that third inning for Charleston. This one hit the other way, but Marquez has got it to first in time. Another 1-2-3 inning. How about Riley Cutter? She's retired the last 8 she's faced, and the Cougars still down by just 3 when we come back in the bottom of the 5th.
For some, it's just the sound of ice hitting heavy-duty plastic. But for us, it's the signal calling us back to the light. And to Greg's house, because he just got a new grill.
Connecting to Hot Jams playlist.
Welcome back, Bud Light legends. It's time to take summer by the coolers.
Bottom of the 5th inning. Hallie Cannon will lead off the Cougar, their middle part of the order, 4, 5, and 6. Well, the Cougars were down 7-0, got 4 back in the third, and then since then have just missed being able to get back. In the 4th inning, Mia Ditto nearly had a base hit that got him back closer, but Orozco got it with the dive out in center. Last inning, the Cougars got their 8 and 9 hitters on with a walk. Top of the order. First and second, nobody out. And couldn't do anything with it. Starks hit a ball well, but she was denied a hit as well. And that appeared to get the Stony Brook relief pitcher, Ashton Milas, back into form after she walked her first 2 batters. Hallie Cannon's 0 for 1 today with a walk. A walk that drove in a run. Stony Brook pitchers didn't walk anybody this whole weekend until now last inning in this inning, where they've walked 4 now. Cougars were able to chase the starter, Gabrielle Mayday, out of this game, made them go to their bullpen for the first time. Cannon now 3-2 after being down 0-2 on the count. And takes a big swing and a miss there. That's the first strikeout of the game for Cougar hitting and Stony Brook pitching. As they get the lead hitter out. Now, one thing about the Cougars, they don't have the greatest offensive numbers this year, particularly in the power, just 4 homers, but one good thing, they don't strike out very much. Hallie Cannon this year, even with that. 9 strikeouts, 9 walks. As that one will get through a couple fielders, and Roman is aboard with a base hit. A seeing eye ground ball that evades the gloves of Badger and Ackerman. And Malika Belser will bat. Last time up, a clutch 2 RBI single into right center. Takes the first pitch, 0-1. Denise Roman aboard. She can run. Has 1 stolen base this year. And as Belser hits it foul. So Malika Belser led the Cougars 4 homers, 30 RBI a season ago. This year she got that first homer, now 15 RBIs. And she'll swing and miss at the outside pitch. So good response from Milas.
Right fielder, number 14, Mia Ditto.
So Belser strikes out. Mia Ditto has hit the ball to the outfield twice, but flied out and lined out. Nearly getting that big hit to continue the 3rd inning, which right now looks like it could be one of the big plays of the game if things hold. But Ditto did have a double yesterday down the left field line. Anything in the gap, 2 outs, could score a runner and bring the team closer. It's 1-1. Ditto gets it. This is backhanded, not scooped up right away, but in time for the out. Naya Ackerman makes a terrific play at second base, and Mia Ditto just cannot get herself a hit today. Oh, close at second, but the call is out, and that'll do it for the 5th. So 2 innings left. Early on, it looked like this game may be a Stony Brook rout. But the Cougars got back in it with a 4-run 3rd inning. Riley Cutter so far putting together her best pitching performance of the year. 5 hits, but no earned runs in 4 1/3 innings in a long relief. And it's off the end of the bat by McFarland, but is fielded by Cutter in time for the out. A good 1-pitch out. And Stony Brook, who both yesterday, even when they weren't scoring many runs, and then certainly today in the early innings, constantly getting runners on base, not going down easily. But Riley Cutter's now retired 9 in a row. And Alyssa Costello will be the batter. Costello 0 for 3 today. But yeah, the last base runner Stony Brook had was back in the 3rd inning, McFarland, who had 2 hits. She reached on a bunt single in the 3rd. So was trying to do that again and couldn't. And now Costello. Is the only Stony Brook player who didn't reach base today in the first 3 innings. And we'll take again, 2-2 count. Now gets to 3-2. And give Riley Cutter credit. After hitting the first batter she faced today, she hasn't walked anybody yet. And a full count on Costello. She'll get this one out of play, foul. Costello, just a junior at Stony Brook, but has 12 career home runs, coming off of a 400 all-conference season. And she'll get this one, grounder to second base. Broman in time for the 2nd out. And as that battle is won by Riley Cutter. And Catherine and Kopinski now to the plate. Kopinski's 1 for 3. She hit a triple and scored back in the 2nd inning. And now she'll get this one into left, and that'll drop for the first Stony Brook hit in 3 innings. And Kopinski's got a couple now on the day. So that'll prevent a 3rd straight 1-2-3 inning. As the Seawolves have stopped Charleston's rally for now, but trying to take that momentum back, get an insurance run. Sanzone had an RBI double back in the 1st inning. And she'll take the first pitch, strike 1. This one hit in play, ripped to left, and Stony Brook, well, they were doing this the first couple innings again with 2 out. That's when they're doing their damage. And 6 of their 10 hits in this game have come with 2 out. And now Ackerman. Ackerman's looking for her first hit of the game, but she has walked, reached on an error, and scored 2 runs. Made a terrific play at second to end last inning, and she gets this one into center. Stacy takes a step forward and then back, makes the play, and gets out of the inning. So some 2-out rallying for Stony Brook, but no runs out of it, and the Cougars still within 3 as we go to the bottom of the 6th.
For some, it's just the sound of ice hitting heavy-duty plastic. But for us, it's the signal calling us back to the light. And to Greg's house, because he just got a new grill.
Connecting to Hot Jams playlist.
Welcome back, Bud Light legends. It's time to take summer by the coolers.
When it comes to living in the low country, this is what it's all about. It's why we live here, work here, and why so many people are moving here. Hey Tire Pros is proud to have served generations of low country families.
At Hey Tire Pros, we see new people every day. If you're new to the low country and need any kind of car maintenance, do what thousands have done for years and count on Hey Tire Pros.
So whether you're a come ya or a been ya, we just want you to get here.
So Cougars back up to bat. It'll be the bottom part of the order that will begin with a pinch hitter. Brook Tranum will hit for Sierra Paradis. Brook Tranum this year has started to hit well in conference games. 3 for 5, including a hit yesterday against Stony Brook. And she'll take the first pitch. A year ago, Tranum had 2 home runs in the first month of the season when she played. And starting to get back and starting to get some hits for the Cougars. Had 2 hits in a game against Delaware. And now she's tapped as the pinch hitter. The sophomore from, or actually redshirt freshman from Lexington, South Carolina. Can she get things started ahead of Caitlin Stacy, who's been on base twice and maybe the hottest Cougar hitter overall? And then back to the top of the order. Tranum takes and is 3-1. And she will get aboard. And so Brook Tranum gets on with a walk. Leadoff runner on again. And Caitlin Stacy will try to get on for the 3rd time. Coach Lynch delivering the signs to her base runner. Well, so far, the pitcher, Ashton Milas, has given up just 1 hit, but 3 walks. Got out of trouble in the 4th inning. Can the Cougars get to her? 2nd time around the order. She's facing everybody now. As Stacy walked against her. Back in the 4th, Cougars at 1st and 2nd, nobody out. And couldn't get anything out of that. All 4 of their runs came in the 3rd inning. Cougars came back from 7-0 down, have had the tying run at the plate, but have gotten no closer than that. 1-2, Stacy, and that's picked up at 3rd by Dye to 2nd to 1st, not in time for the double play. But the Seawolves do get their first out of the inning. Dye running, or excuse me, Brook Tranum running well to make that a tough play to begin with, and Stacy able to easily beat the double play. With Savannah Lockhart now, the DP, hitting in the leadoff spot after she pinch hit here. She kind of got the offense started for the Cougars. Stacy with the single and then Lockhart with the double back in the 3rd inning, and they would both score. In this same spot with Stacy on first base with 1 out. Lockhart does have a homer this year, as well as 4 doubles. But 1-2 now. Milas has struck out 2 today, so she's had the 3 walks, but when she's been pitching well against a batter, she's been good. As Lockhart now to short, Play to second, to first, not quite in time for two. Boy, that took some guts there for McFarland. I did not think that she was going to try to get the lead runner on that. She did and was able to get Stacy out. And a good hustle from Lockhart down the line to prevent the double play. And Brooke Marquez hits it into left center, hanging up, and will be caught by Orozco. And that'll do it for the 6th inning. And we remain in a 7-4 ball game with 1 inning left here on the Charleston Sports Network. Baseball field, it's a 1-0 lead for Wofford right now. As the Cougars looking to go ahead 2-0 in that series. Looks like the bottom of the 3rd inning. You got Mike Ward over on the call there. The game also on the Charleston Sports Network here on Flow Sports. Softball currently in the final inning. Top of the 7th for Stony Brook. So when this game started, it looked like it could really get out of hand. Stony Brook was up 7-0. We're wondering if we would even get to the 7th inning. Well, we did. Cougars put together a nice rally in the 3rd, got 4 runs, but have been held scoreless after that. Riley Cutter has done her part, giving up no earned runs in 5 1/3 innings. Emily Reinstein, probably the offensive MVP for Stony Brook today, drove in 3 runs with a single and a double. Cutter was able to get her out last time up. It'll be the bottom of the order for Stony Brook. They got a couple hits last inning with 2 out, but Cutter made the big pitch to get Ackerman out. As that one is fouled away to get to a 1-2 count. As it looks a little colorful maybe in the stands. Well, we had a Cougar Kids Club Day, and that included some giveaways, some posters, and some balloon animals. And I think I can still see a couple of those in the stands. So big crowd here, and we got everything going on. We got baseball, softball, the soccer behind us. Yeah, a lot of kids, families in the crowd. Cougars looking to pull off some last inning magic for them. First got to get out of the top. 1-2 fouled again. Quick break and now get back into it. So, yeah, Emily Reinstein has played a big part as any in Stony Brook. Having a lead in this game, she'll pop it out here. Marquez with the catch for 1 out.
Third baseman number 4, Brook Dye.
And now it's Brooke Dye. Brooke Dye today got hit by a pitch her first time up and scored a run. Actually didn't score a run, but made it to third that inning, part of that big first inning. And Stony Brook just kept going station to station at the end with 2 out. Brook Dye was hit by a pitch and then flied out to left. Struck out looking, the only strikeout that Cutter has had against the Stony Brook batters. They've been in plenty of 0-2, 1-2 counts, but they've been tough to put away. Even though Cutter did get Dye looking last time. 0-2. This one is ripped and foul. These two teams will play again tomorrow at a 12 noon start. Stony Brook 3 outs away from clinching the series win. It's the first time that Stony Brook has ever come to College of Charleston as Dye gets this one out to left. Will send Cannon back, but she'll make the catch. So again, 2 outs, nobody on. Stony Brook 6 2-out hits in this game. As Badger, who had an RBI today with a hit by pitch, and now Coach Lynch out to Cutter in the circle. So this is going to be the 3rd time around the order, actually 4th time around the order for Riley Cutter, who really took that long relief role in this game as McKenna Kelly was chased early. So Coach Lynch telling something and then gives something to the home plate umpire as well. I don't see any defensive changes made right now though. That ball is in, strike 1, or strike 2. As this one is hit deep to left center, going back is Cannon, that ball is gone. And Corinne Badger gets her 3rd of the year. Told you all series, she was a power threat. 14 long balls a year ago. And she goes deep now at a big time for Stony Brook. Their last chance to get some insurance, and they do. Another 2-out hit and a run for the Seawolves, a no-doubter. Well, fortunately for the Cougars, just a solo shot, but this now does put them down by 4. And Alicia Orozco. Stony Brook, who hit 45 homers as a team last year, had been held without one all series until just then. Roscoe hits the 0-1, and Marquez will make the play in shallow left to end the inning. But the Seawolves get the insurance run. Cougars will be down 4 going into their final chance of the game. Cougars, you can see it's all conference games now. One more game in this series tomorrow at 12. Next weekend it's at Hampton. And then the weekend after that, back home, Friday, March 28th, they will take on Elon. And that game will be back here on the Charleston Sports Network. So Cougars down to their final 3 outs. They've got the 3, 4, and 5 hitters in their order. Starks, Cannon, Roman. If anyone gets on, Belser. And now in a 4-run deficit, as with 2 outs, Stony Brook was able to tack on that 1 run with Corin Badger going deep to left. Starks today, no hits, has hit a couple of strong ground balls and has walked and scored. Ashton Milas has pitched well in relief and is trying to finish off a 4-inning save. So far, she's allowed 3 walks, but just 1 hit. And it's grounded right back to the pitcher and throw over for 1 out. Now, when Milas entered this game, she walked the 8 and 9 hitters for Charleston. And at that point, the Cougars had all the momentum. But then 3 outs in a row. And since then, she's only given up 1 walk and 1 hit. There's the Cougars in a 4-run hole with just 2 outs to work with. Hallie Cannon looking for her first hit of the series. Does have a walk RBI today. That's a hard roller right to second base. And second ground ball that immediately retires the runner before they even get halfway down the line. So this game now threatening to end the way it started when the Cougars, after that 5-run Stony Brook first inning, seemed like they were up just for a quick moment in the bottom of the first. 8 pitches, a couple ground balls, and that was it. And now in their final inning, Cougars will need a big rally, all with 2 out. Anise Roman, who has 2 hits in this game, including the only one off of Milas. As Roman responded nicely after a tough luck 0-for-4 game yesterday. A couple line drives, ground outs. The count is 2-1. As Roman into center field, should be playable, and Orozco makes the catch and delivers the second win of this series for Stony Brook. 8-4 is the final. And so McKenna Kelly will take the loss starting the game, and the win will go to either Mayday or Milas. Mayday pitched the first 3 innings, left with the lead, but then Milas really was the one that carried the Seawolves. 4 scoreless innings, 1 hit. So Stony Brook will go for the sweep tomorrow, while the Cougars, they fought back in this game, didn't give up, and now we'll come back at noon tomorrow and try to get a win this weekend. I've been Mook Jarasati on the call, and we thank you for watching. You've been watching on the Charleston Sports Network, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.